Hi everyone and welcome. This is me, Kisma, and I'm rarely on the camera on Twitch. So you're seeing a side of me that most people who view my Twitch channel just don't see. But I want to invite you into my studio, so come on in and let's take a look around. So I'm going to switch my camera, so give me just a minute. If I can do it. Well, all right, I can't, but we'll do it this way. So here we are, and I'm just going to make sure that everything's set up properly. So right there, that's the desk that I am going to be working on. And as you can see, I'm set. So I'm just going to show you around my studio just a tiny bit. We came in from that door. Okay. And I have several workplaces that I always have set up. This one is usually where I do some art journaling. And then over in this corner, I usually have my painting area set up, so my easel. So as you can see, that's where I'm working on my current 2022 transformational project. That's the next one, and over there is an abstract. This work table right here is where I usually do my Twitch. But right now I have it set up with ephemera for my canvas project. So over here you can see the computer right there. So I can see when someone is here or when a question is asked. And this, however, is where I have us set up for the 30 days of art. So just give me one quick moment as I switch my camera and put it up here. Let's see, am I doing it right? I want to get it to where it's flipped the other way. There we go. That wasn't so hard. Hi, Lauren. It's so nice to see you too. Welcome. So I'm just going over a couple of things with regards to how to get ready for our 30 days of art. So in my space that I'm going to use for the next 30 days, it's right here, this area. And I just want to talk to you a couple of minutes about how to make the best of your space and this 30-day practice that we're getting ready to set on. Actually, I think I want to see you all. So I'm going to, again, change my camera so that we can chat, so that we're having a real chatting moment. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, when we set up an art practice, right, the 30 days of art challenge, because that's really what it is a little bit. It is a challenge. And it's a challenge because we are making a commitment to ourselves. And that's all we're doing. We're just making a commitment to ourselves to every day at a specific time. We're going to go to our workspace, which mine is right there. And for 15 minutes, we're going to do our creative time. Now, I have a timer set up, so I will always have that timer going off, and I won't go over 15 minutes. I will have for the week, every week, my supplies on my table might change. To start off with, I have watercolors. And then I have my paintbrushes over here. I have some ink stamps. I will always have collage pieces on the table. Always, always. And I will always have a glue stick on the table right over here. And I will always have markers and pins. I'll always have these things on the table. Now, what I might not always have on the table is the watercolors. Those will change. Maybe next week all I'll want to work with is soft pastels or oil pastels. Hi, Bettina. I'm so happy you were able to make it. Yay. It's so wonderful when I see everyone coming in and am able to really greet you, because that just makes it so much more personal. So the one thing I want to talk about your substrate, whatever it is you're going to work with. In August, I worked my Saturday morning art journal club here on my Twitch channel was devoted strictly to mini art journals, and we created the covers out of toilet paper rolls. Rather than throw them away, we just created it. So if you want to make, and this has only 30 pages in it, so it's just made for 30 days of art. If you are wanting to create something like this in the days we have in the next 4 days or 3 days, you have plenty of time to create something like this. And if you go to my Twitch channel reruns, you'll see the recordings there. It's 2A, I think it's the second class for August. But even if you don't choose something like this, if you choose something like this, all right, or even a mixed media pad like this, I'm encouraging you to keep it small. We have 15 minutes, and the object of the 30 days of art is that we are really just sitting down, breathing with either a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or whatever time of day you have. Bring a special beverage with you, and you're drinking that, really. You're enjoying that nourishment while you do what might be called doodle art, or you're just experimenting, exploring. I brought these journals. I want to show you. I always have an art journal set up somewhere. That's for my daily practice. Every morning, I like a cup of coffee, and every morning that I get up, with my cup of coffee, I sit down at my table. Usually it's that one over there that I showed you. And I just have my journal and I work in one. So for example, I'm quickly going through to show you. Some days I'm just exploring and experimenting with, eyes or whatever. I went through a month where I did the neurographica doodling, and so what I did was I spent like half of the month creating it, and then the second half of the month I went back to the beginning and I colored it in with watercolor. So I determine how much I can get done. Like if I'm going to focus on something specific, I determine how much I can get done in one sitting, and I have no problem doing a phase 2 or and going back and working with it in another way by adding color. I made each of these with an intention, and I opened up to this one to show you because this one is, I am aligned with endless creativity. So that was the intention I put in there. But you can see some of them. This one over here that I want to show you is a daily doodle where I decided to work with inks, right? So I worked with a small paintbrush and inks, and to one piece of music, usually about 10 minutes long, I would come in and I would do my outline. And I did all of that. And then, see, this is from the Art Journal Club. And then after I had done a month of that, I went back and working on the same thing. I brought in watercolor, not watercolor, I brought in colored ink. And then not only that, I went back a third month and I added words. And sometimes the words weren't that much, and so I would go on to a second one. But I let it flow, and I began to explore and experiment and just have fun. And that's the whole point of a daily practice, is you're trying things out. It's not about beauty. It's not about finishing. It's not about creating a full-on canvas or anything. It really, really is just about letting go and working with something. Oh, what would happen if I worked with that wax and an ink? Well, I didn't like the way it looked, but I learned something from it, right? So sometimes really it is just a full-on process that you're taking yourself through. Another journal that I worked with, that I still do periodically, is for my daily practice, is I work with oil pastels, and I come in and I just do something for that 15 minutes. Sometimes it's pretty weird, sometimes it's nothing. But the other thing that's important to think about is this: not to continue working on it after your 15 minutes of daily practice, because this is one of the junk journals we did. I did in July, I think. So what I do is I just open up a page. I open up a page wherever I'm working. Okay. So the next, and this I only created in July, but you can see I lay it open. This has been my daily practice. I lay it open. And some days for my daily practices, I take a look at it and I pull out my collage papers. I pull out what I want to work with. That's one 15-minute. Then I come back the next day and I lay the foundation. And then I come back the next day and I add some decoration. And then when it's all done, I come back and I add my little pins, my words, my whatever it is it's going to be, and until it's done. And then I go on to the next, because we all know art journaling or just daily practice exploration is not about the finished product. It really is just about the journey. This is a true junk journal where it's pretty messy, and you have to go in and you have to figure out how to make your pages work and stuff like that. This more or less is something I lay out and I work on. But again, I don't work on things more than 15 minutes. So it's my big projects that I give myself to. And I pull out my supplies that I want to work with. I have them around me. I know exactly the medium and the tools I want to play with for that week, and I keep them there. And then over the weekend, I'll probably change. I'll swap it out. Every few days, I'll swap it out. And at some point during our days together, I will, maybe the day before, give you, or the week before, say, hey, on Monday, bring in a medium or a supply that you bought because you were so attracted to it, but you never worked with it. You've never worked with it. Okay, I'm going to bring you back to me, so just a sec. Okay, so I'll invite you to work with something that you just haven't worked with. Oh, look at that, I'm sideways. Just a sec. I'm not usually this crazy with my camera, but because I have it just set up and hanging, and when I start, you see my workspace. I can see that there are other people joining in, and I want to say hi to you and recognize that you're here, even if you haven't put a hi in the chat yet. If you just created your Twitch account, you can't yet. There's this little security buffer zone that prevents spammers from coming into a Twitch session. So I'm looking forward to knowing who was here. But starting Thursday, September 1, I will be here live at 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. I put a time converter on the web page for you to, figure out if what time that might be for you. If you can come at the same time, that's all the better. But if you can't, the idea is you set your perfect daily practice time for September, and you're going to have the rerun to watch. I may not chat at all. Maybe we just do work, and you do not have to ever worry about doing what I'm doing. We are doing this together. But when I encourage you, hey, bring in a new medium, share. I'll invite you all to hide. I see someone there. I see a Bonnie. Is it Bonnie? Is it? I don't know. I can't see the name real clearly. But hi, welcome. It came through. I see you. So I hope everyone can hear me okay. If you can't, if you can hear me, just say why in the chat box, and look at I'll show you. There you all are. See? It let me post today after I just signed up. Oh my goodness, see? Okay. Well, I did go in and make a setting change, so it did swap out. So that's really good to know. So we're going to have fun together. We're going to help each other really move into a form of daily practice and encourage each other to have fun experimenting and exploring. You're not learning a technique. You're not learning a technique. I'm not teaching a technique. I am simply holding the space for you to, for 30 days, have an art practice. Now, it's said that it takes about 21 days to create a new habit. And once we go through a month, whatever we've committed to more or less really becomes that habit. And this daily art practice, it really can revive us. It keeps us going through creative blocks. And the other thing is it just allows us to experiment and, what ifs. Do your what ifs in your daily practice, because then you can take it to a serious canvas or an art journal. Now, I want you to post any questions you might have right here in the chat, and I will answer them, but we've only got a few minutes left, and then I will say goodbye for today. But like I said, we are doing our daily art practice of 15 minutes each day together. And if you can't make my time, set your own. Be very diligent in setting your own. What should we have ready for Thursday? Well, you want to have your whatever you're going to work in, whether it's something that you make, whether it's something that you make, or whether it's a book like this, right? Something small, and then just gather together some supplies. I've got pins, I've got some watercolors, I do have some stamps over here, and I will always have collage pieces and a glue stick on my table. But mostly I will be changing that every few days. Do you have to have the supply? No. Your supplies. This is moving around your art supplies, your craft supplies, and picking your spot, and then pulling in. Because this week I might be working with watercolors, but by the weekend I might have decided to work with a few acrylics, or maybe a few days I'm only gonna work with oil pastels, or maybe soft pastels, or maybe sketching, maybe pencils. So we want to have fun exploring, especially those mediums you've bought and you've never used. That's the fun thing. And then we'll share, as our time together, or as our art practice goes on. There goes our timer, so let me wrap this up. But as our art practice goes on, then the idea is that you can share about it. I'll encourage you can come and join my public Visionary Artist Path Facebook group if you want, and we can chat in there about what we're doing here. That's an option. I didn't think about that, but if you find you want to do that, just let me know and I can invite you to that group. But yeah, we're just going to develop a committed art practice for our own time and our own life, and just 15 minutes a day of really just exploring. Maybe at the tail-end, maybe at the beginning of October, we'll do like a 3-day challenge. Challenges are fun, but it'll prime you and get you ready for that. But at this time, if nobody else has any other question, then yes, it's going to be so much fun, And between now and Thursday, designate a spot that you're going to keep for your art practice. Have whatever you're going to work in there. Pull out some supplies and have them around you. And every day you go to that spot and you work. You work right there. There's TV trays too. TV trays can really be a great art practice. I put a drop cloth on mine, and then you just pile it all up and you pull it in front of the computer, because I know we're working in front of a computer, and you'll always see what I'm doing. So I might be experimenting with things, but you'll always see it. So that's pretty much it. We're just on a journey of dedicated 15-minute art practice to self. So we're going to have fun. All right, I think at this point I'm going to say bye. If you're in the MailChimp group, I'm going to be sending an email to you with the Neurographica about creativity, the endless flow of creativity. So you're going to get a copy of that so you can print it out. And you have my email, so if you need to get a hold of me, you got my Twitch. If you need to get a hold of me, just shoot me a message or go to the website, visionaryartistpath.com, and you can send me a message right through there. All right. Have a great day, and I'll see you Thursday for our first day of 30 Days of Art. Look at signing off. 30 Days of Art. Bye, everyone. Thanks for being here.